Hi there, I am coming to you today to do some movement sitting at your desk and standing around your desk. A lot of us are working from home right now, and so with that comes the gravity shoulder roll as you're on the computer. So that'll be really fun to do a little flow sitting in your chair and then standing. You could do this as many times as you want during the day. I prefer like working for say an hour, getting up and doing something, and have to break it up that way. And the kids also, especially with homeschooling. So we're gonna start just seated, and I'm gonna also play this in a time lapse and post it on my Instagram for those that want to go through it quicker and don't want to listen to my chatting. But I'm gonna walk you through each movement that we do. Super simple because we're doing the 6 movements of the spine sitting, doing some wrist stuff, and then moving through the lower body, and we'll finish with a little meditation. So we're gonna start with arms coming up. And just clasping hands and going to the one side and then to the other. Continuing your breath as you're moving. And if this feels really good, you can stay here for as long as you like. Going back to center, inhale. As you exhale, cactusing your arms. Heart, sternum lifts, shoulder blades hug your spine. Inhale up. Exhale, we're going to turn to the right. So I just place my hand in the back of the chair and just twist to the side, gazing over your right shoulder or your left if you're turned the other way. Inhale up. Switching the opposite way. You may hear some snap, crackle, pops. I just heard one for myself. Bringing your hands back to heart center. From here, we're going to do some neck. So just taking your hand gently on the top of your head, bringing your ear towards your shoulder, and then reaching down the opposite hand. This can be as mild as you want. And just be mindful of the neck. It tends to be strained and pulled forward all day. So we're thinking everything is going to be lifting it up. If you notice, we did not do the movement of the spine where we come forward because I'm assuming you've been doing that if you're sitting at your desk. Inhale up. Exhale the other way. So just a gentle pull with that top hand and reaching down with the opposite hand. It's not even a pull. It's almost just like the weight of your hand on your head is helping release some tension. And then coming back to heart center. We're going to do that real quick one more time just for some more fluidity. Inhale up. Exhale right. Inhale. Exhale left. Keeping the breath flowing as you're moving. Coming back to center, inhale. As you exhale, cactus your arms. Inhale up, twisting to the right. Grabbing the back of your chair, looking over. Navel pulls in anytime you're twisting. It just helps to support your spine. And you may find your stretch can get a little bit deeper. Inhale up. Exhale the opposite way. Inhale up, hands come to heart center. Let's do our neck again. So we're just gently placing your hand on your head, reaching down with the opposite arm, keeping your chin lifted. And inhale up, switching to the other side. Sighing out through the mouth. Inhale up. From here, we're going to bring our arms right out in front of us. This is called eagle arms. So our left arm is going to go straight. Our right arm is going to cross. Now this, if you can't get your elbows crossed here, then just keep your forearms and you'll do the same. You'll just place your hands kind of clasped this way as you're pulling in together. For those that can get them crossed, you're going to wrap up. So I'm like this. And now you're going to pull your elbows together. Feels really good between the shoulder blades and the upper back. If you can't make it all the way around, you can again just keep your hands so backs are together, and grabbing here and pulling apart does the same. And then as you're here, you could close your eyes or just gaze forward, really allowing those shoulders to release. We carry so much tension in our shoulders. And then you can play with where they're at. You can lift them up a little bit to feel it a little bit differently. And down. We're going to go ahead and release that. Just kind of shake your arms out. And now we'll put our right arm down, cross with our left, and come up again. This is eagle arms, that's what it's called. Each exhale, think of tension releasing in the shoulders. And again, playing with the height of your elbows will change where you feel the stretch in the upper back. And release down. Talking about posture for 1 second, I want to think of tailbone reaching down, crown of your head lifting up, so there's lots of length in your spine, and then shoulder blades hugging your spine. We use our hands a lot when we're sitting at the table or at the desk with our computer, so we're going to do some stuff for our wrists. So just clasp your hands like you would here, and I call this the wrist wave. Just get some synovial fluid going in the wrists. It feels really good. And then from here, we're going to stand. Another thing we're going to do for wrists, think of it as, like you do a calf stretch with your heels. You can do the same thing with your wrists. So just letting the sides of your hand or the palm of your hand at the back of it just kind of fall off the table. We are this way, so we need to do the opposite. Another one is to stand with your palms right here on the table and then just start leaning into them, feeling a nice stretch all along the arm here. And if you'd like to turn it sideways, which is one of my favorites, and you can start going side to side. And you may notice that one is tighter than the other. I'm right-handed, so my right hand or my right wrist gets really tight. And you can do up and down also. That's going to help stretch out the palm and all those ligaments in the hand. Who knew? Yoga for hands. All right, from here, we're going to go into a standing posture. I'm just going to push my chair back. This is like a downward dog, but you're using the table. So the elbows are going to come onto the table. I'm going to show you with the arms first, and then take it a little further, you'd use your elbows. So just taking hands on the table, hips coming back, and just pressing back, really focusing on gravity helping you out here. And you can shift side to side if that feels good. I also do this in the morning when I'm waiting for my coffee. Continuing your breath. If you'd like a little bit more here, you would just put elbows and do the same. You'll feel this a lot deeper in the shoulder girdle. And both of those can also be done on the back of a chair. And the last thing we're going to do is figure 4. So you're just going to use the table or the chair to hold you up if you need some balance. Crossing that leg over this way and then sitting back. And so you're working that whole hip area, opening that up, because when we sit, we get really tight. And again, just pausing and breathing. I like to do a lot of these with my eyes closed because, like, for example, when I'm sitting in the chair, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to fall off the chair. And it just is so nice when you stop the vision, you can actually go within a little bit more and calm down a little bit more. So anytime you take one of the 5 senses away, it gives your nervous system a break, and sight being one of the biggest because there's so much to distract us. Once we close our eyes, we can focus a little bit more on what's going on in the body. And then switching to the other side. Noticing again which side is tighter. I tend to be tighter upper body with my right side because I'm right-handed, but lower body, it's my left side. So spending a little more time on the side that's tight will help balance everything out. And then we're just going to do some basic stretches for the legs, front of the leg, quadricep stretch. You're just going to bring your heel towards your bum. Think of your knee reaching down, and then as you have your hand here, you're pulling in as you push that foot out, and you're going to feel that stretch a little bit deeper in the front of your leg. If your knee's out here, it's going to just put your knee at a compromised position, so trying to keep it right under your hips. You want to be really nice and tall here. And then we'll go ahead and switch to the other side. Continuing your breath. Playing with balance, maybe taking your hand off of the table or the chair. And then we'll release that. Now we're going to use our chair. So I'm going to have my chair here. I'm just going to stick my leg up on top. And again, we're just hinging forward, feeling the stretch along the back of the leg. So one thing to think about is like, oh, I'm just stretching my muscles, I'm getting things untight. But think about sitting at your desk, coming against a problem, getting frustrated or feeling like there's a roadblock and you don't know what to do. Stepping away, turning inward, getting quiet, allows the mind to have a break, so there's not so much tension towards that problem, like a gripping sensation almost. And you may find this helps with creativity and finding a solution for what you're doing, or opening up your mind to a different direction you wanted to go that you didn't really realize that could be the solution. So think of this also as not only physical, we're going to switch legs, but also a mental break too. We take brain breaks for homeschool right now. This is your version of a brain break. And again, if you'd like to close your eyes, just make sure you're in a stable position, you have support, and then just close your eyes and shut off, turn inward a little bit. And then we'll come back to seated. And Shavasana at your desk would just be a laying of the arms and then forehead onto your forearms. You can go there, so it would be like this for your meditation, or you can just stay seated with your hands on your legs. One thing that I've been doing lately is, because I notice that I'm looking at a screen, I'm tending to squint more, is I take my palm, actually let's rub our hands together and warm up a little bit. Palm on my forehead, and just gently pulling up ever so slightly helps to relax those muscles that have been tight and clenched. And also, just the sensation of the palm on the forehead, if you really focus your attention there, it's just a neat sensation of your skin touching your skin and being present to it, and very calming for those muscles. Your other hand you can place on your heart. And we're just going to take about 3 breath cycles before we settle in for meditation. So in through the nose and just sighing out through the mouth. And keeping eyes closed. If they're not closed already, just go ahead and closing them. Placing hands on your legs, palms down for grounding if you're feeling frazzled or flighty, palms up if you want to focus on being more open, if you feel like your minds, your thoughts, your body is more clenched. So depending on what you feel you need, place your hands that way. And just begin to settle in, noticing that spot on your forehead that your palm was just touching. Is there a calmness there now, or is there still a tightness? And if there's a tightness with each exhale, imagine that tightness leaving the body. And your next inhale, imagine a string on the top of your head, just gently pulling up to lengthen the spine. Maybe your spine grows taller here. On the exhale, allowing the shoulders to melt down as you keep the length in your spine. And moving more towards a deep breath here, we're going to inhale through the nose, and then as we exhale, you're going to exhale as if you're fogging up a mirror. So it's going to be very audible. So it's an inhale, exhale through the mouth, and one more time. Now the next time, keeping the mouth closed, we're going to inhale and exhale. Not with as much force, but you want the breath to be moving in and out through the nose, and you'll hear a subtle noise in the back of your throat. And those muscles are just constricting as you're exhaling. This breath helps the nervous system to calm down. So whenever you're ready, beginning to inhale and exhale through the nose, very naturally, but just be aware of the sound of the breath. There's not so much tension, but a strength to the exhale. And this breath work really alerts the nervous system to get out of that fight or flight and to move into calm, stable groundedness. And as you're sitting here, if you feel anything clenched or tight, think of softening with that inhale or the exhale. Rather both, you could do it with both. And I'll just let you go with your breath for the next 5 cycles, breathing as your body allows, making sure to take a full inhale. Breath comes in the nose, down the throat, chest lifts, belly expands for that fullness. As you exhale, navel pulls in, ribs come back to neutral along with your chest, and breath leaves through the nose. And it's this cycle just over and over again. And as we begin to close out our little mini practice today, just notice how you're feeling. Maybe give yourself a little smile, the corners of your mouth turning up gently. As you begin your work again at your desk or step into the rest of your day. Let's take one last inhale together. Arms come up. You can begin to open your eyes whenever it feels comfortable. Taking your hands down in front of you and just resting them back at your legs again. And just to recap, what we did today was a nice little flow sitting at your desk, but it also is the basis of the Align method, where you're aligning body, mind, and soul. Taking time out so that you can calm the mind, moving the body so that you can feel your body release, the muscles release tension, spine come into alignment, and with that, your soul can be refreshed. I hope you have a wonderful day. Message me with any questions, and thank you so much. Bye-bye.